Hi guys, Kirk and Jason here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Down here, I'm down in the dungeon. Probably going to get some echoing stuff here. Today what we're going to show you folks is how we skim coat these walls. Now we are in beautiful San Jose once more. A fella here emailed me and showed me these walls. I was able to see what he had, and I said, well gee, if the walls need to be pressure washed first, and I would advise down in that little hole there you go with at least 3,000 psi. So he rented a pressure washer and he went with a 3,000 psi because we had mold, mildew, and dirt, dust, grime, you name it, we had it here. So the idea is not to waste your time spinning your wheels with a wire brush. Do it the real way and get these walls scored, meaning you can't see it, but they're scored with that strong PSI in order to receive this bonding agent. Now the bonding agent I use, I'm going full strength with a bonding agent. What I generally do is buy a can of bonding agent, stir up the bottom because sometimes it settles. I've had cans settle where it's 3 inches on the bottom. So if you don't stir it up, you're diluting it. On here we want full strength because it was where I get a lot of folks saying, gee, can we color code block? And I say, of course you can, but if you color code block, all the grout lines will show, they'll crack, and every time it rains you'll see enhanced even. So I generally tell folks, well, if it were me, what I would do first is I would skim it. And these guys, they had somewhat of a tannish white color here. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll make one trip out there, you pressure wash it, and we'll just come apply the bonding agent, and we'll go with a white base cement. So, meaning our skim coat is white stucco, and the sand will dictate the color. I said, it'll be somewhat like this. It'll be maintenance free. You never have to paint it because once you start painting something that's in an area like this, it tends to seal it. Better to let it breathe. So anyhow, Jay's going to mix me up about 6-8 buckets, and I'm going to skim this, and I'm going to give everything a sand finish. After I skim all of this right here, I'll put a coat on it. It's going to be about a 1/4 inch on the block, about a 1/2 inch where the grout is because that's inset, about a 1/2 inch. Total thickness is going to be anywhere between the two. So we'll skim it. We're going to put corners on here, and then we'll give it that sandy look. I told him I can do whatever finish you want. Skip trowel sand. If it were mine, I'd go skip or sand finish. So that's what we're aiming towards here. So when Jay gets his mix going, we'll show you the next phase of spreading this out. All right, guys. Jay's going to be mixing up about 6 to 8 buckets for me. We didn't bring a mixer on this one because we don't need it. Mixer all the way over here. It's just overkill. So we're mixing everything by hand. Cold day. Hopefully we don't get rained out. All right, guys. We are spreading the material. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taking it at the natural line right here. We're leaving this cap. So I just get my top or sides and get my top just like that. And I am going to be rodding this. Anyhow, you get the idea. When you're doing stuff like this, guys, always start from the top, work your way down. Jay's going to mix some more, and we'll show you as we go. Okay, guys, because I have a window here, I'm not sure if it's bedroom or living room, I'm doing 2 walls at a time. This way, when I float this, it'll all be consistent as far as the color. Generally, he says, well, gee, I'll just paint. And I said, man, you don't have to do that, especially, I mean, if you don't like what the color is, you can. But that's just a little tip that you do 1 wall at a time when you're working with this kind of cement, and the colors tend to be more uniform. all we're doing is this is just a skim coat too, guys. Just a skim coat. So when we get to floating it, I'll show you that part too. Okay, guys. I originally planned on taking this wall down like I did this whole wall, but the sand kind of dictates where I start and stop. It's starting to get hard, so I got to stop what I'm doing and float this. Okay, because we have a clean cap here, I've got a clean float. I'm going to hit that right there, then spin this around and hit it again. That way I keep my cap clean. I'll show you once more. Trying to keep that cap clean, and then I'll float the rest of the wall. One swipe, then I'll turn this around and hit it again. Now I start to float it. And a float finish just means you bring the aggregate out. I'm bringing the sand out. That's a fancy word, aggregate, for the sand. In stucco, it's always sand. In concrete, the aggregate is the size of the rocks. So, and I'm trying to keep the water uniform. This is going to vary a little bit in color, but because he may not paint it, I'm trying to keep it as consistent as possible too. So we're taking it upward, same amount of water as I used right here, and I'm just giving it half swirl circle marks, just like that. Taking an upward motion. And you want to do it while it's still moist. For an example, I can still put finger marks. If I can't put finger marks in it, then it's going to be, I've got to use twice the elbow grease. I'd rather use skill than muscle any day. There we go. And that's what we call float finish over retaining wall. When this dries, it's going to be somewhat varied in color, but it's going to be pretty uniform too as far as texture. Okay, guys, back in the dungeon. Jay just asked me, well, need another trowel, because I'm using a pretty large trowel here to get around all these rungs. But personally, it's kind of fun with a bigger trowel if you know how to do it. Pull it up, as long as you don't get rocks. Take it like so, this way, that way, here, come around, fill your trowel up, come here and go upward, right between each. I'll show you again. One more rung. Let me get some more mud on here. Takes a little practice, but I'm used to it. Take it here, upward, back, and you can always float those out. I'm actually using a green sponge float. That brings the sand out. It also compresses it. That's kind of important too. Anyway, we're about to take a small break, and when I come back, we'll show you this last bit of floating up, and pretty much done in here. Just got to clean up everything. Okay, guys, we are all set. What I do is I just go over, after I pull all the tape off of the windows, sometimes we bury the window frame. We just pull it upward like that with clean water, and we give it all a float finish. Now, again, you can use Portland cement. It gives a gray appearance. Sometimes people say, hey, I'd rather have it gray than tan, so we do whatever is asked of us. Anyhow, my name is Kirk, and as usual, folks, Jason and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.